Minnesota has an interesting roller coaster lineup. Most of the coasters come from a Cedar Fair park in Valleyfair and an indoor park in Nickelodeon Universe. Find out my 10 favorite roller coasters in the Gopher State in this video. Before starting the countdown, I want to note that I have not been to Spirit Mountain, so the Timber Twister Alpine Coaster will not be featured on this list. You also will not see Valleyfair's Corkscrew in this list. This Arrow Looper is okay, but it couldn't beat the other 10 coasters in this list. Last but not least, you will find separate reviews for over half these rides that have already been published on this channel. Number 10. Mad Mouse at Valleyfair. This is one of the few Arrow Wild Mice. It's not as fast as the one at Michigan's Adventure, but it does have strong laterals on the initial hairpin turns, and a few small pops of airtime on the drops in the second half. Just beware this ride's capacity. It is one of the least efficient coasters I've seen anywhere. Number 9. Avatar Airbender at Nickelodeon Universe. This intimate half-pipe feels sort of like a flat ride, but it is quite fun. You get nice floater airtime in the ascents, and while the valleys don't have much positive G's, you will get a burst of spinning that mixes in some lateral forces. Then you also have great visuals anytime you ascend a spike. Number 8. Fairly Odd Coaster at Nickelodeon Universe. This is the original Gerstlauer spinning coaster, and it's neat seeing how it was crammed into the existing infrastructure. This one seems to run faster than the Pandemonium clones at the Six Flags parks. You get better spinning, particularly in the second half, even if you have a balanced car. You also get a bit of airtime during the finale. I did say the ride had a shuffle in my old review, but the ride was running much more smoothly in 2022. Number 7. High Roller at Valleyfair. This classic wood coaster doesn't carry much speed, but it does have some nice airtime. Most hills give smaller pops of airtime, but a few of the hills, particularly the giant camelback on the outward run and that final bunny hill, deliver much more potent ejector pops. This ride also is smooth in all rows, making it well worth experiencing. Number 6. Excalibur at Valleyfair. This is a bizarre creation from Aerodynamics. It looks like a mine train, but it has elements more reminiscent of a scaled-down hypercoaster. The first drop is trimmed, but once you clear the brakes, those in back get a delayed and violent burst of ejector airtime. The ride then blazes through a short layout, which also includes an intense S-hill that will eject everyone. The ride is short and a bit bumpy, but it has enough power to make it worth your while. Number 5. SpongeBob SquarePants Rock Bottom Plunge at Nickelodeon Universe. This is one of the earlier Gerstlauer Eurofighters. While it has over-the-shoulder restraints and some jerky transitions, the headbanging thankfully isn't too bad, so I can enjoy the layout. There's the usual beyond vertical drop with a good burst of ejector airtime, but that's not all. There's a forceful vertical loop afterwards, a speed hill with a surprise jolt of airtime, and a barrel roll chock full of hang time. Number 4. Pepsi Orange Streak at Nickelodeon Universe. This Zier Tivoli coaster feels more like a high-speed monorail than a traditional coaster, and that's fine by me. You get some incredible views as you soar above rides and pathways. And at one point, you even go through a cave shared with Log Chute. The forces are minimal, just some light laterals and a faint pop of airtime, but the visuals more than carry the experience. Number 3. Steel Venom at Valleyfair. This is currently the best intimate impulse coaster out there. Why? The holding brake. This is a freaky element that defies gravity. There's something unnatural about coming to a stop staring at the ground, only to have your body fall into the restraint. Then you have the usual elements around it. You have some solid launches, particularly going backwards, plus good weightlessness on the spikes. Number 2. Wild Thing at Valleyfair. The original Morgan Hypercoaster is weak for the genre, but it still is an enjoyable ride with some notable elements. The first drop gives nice floater airtime in the back, and then the second hill is one of the most sustained airtime moments in the world. It offers roughly 5 straight seconds of floater airtime. The turnaround has some neat views of Route 76, but the finale is ruined by a harsh mid-course trim brake. Those final bunny hills barely offer any airtime when the brake engages, and it almost always does nowadays. And coming in number 1 is Renegade at Valleyfair. This is one of the best woodies from Great Coasters International. This is one of their best layouts. The pacing is fantastic and arguably the ride's standout feature. The first half is in an isolated backstage area. You have some larger turnarounds with the usual pops of airtime, plus some smaller straight hills with some awesome sustained floater airtime. The second half crosses over a road and runs along the midway, finishing with some small but punchy hills. There are two possible downsides with this ride though. One, the ride has a shimmy. This doesn't bother me though because the trains are extremely well cushioned. Two, the seatbelts are retractable unlike the other GCIs, and it can limit how much airtime you experience. But again, these aren't major issues for me, which is why it's still my favorite coaster in the state. But it is not my favorite ride in the state. That honor goes to Log Chute at Nickelodeon Universe. This is my second favorite log flume anywhere after Splash Mountain. You have two great drops, plus some underrated theming as you pass through these atmospheric caves. So those are my top 10 roller coasters in Minnesota. What is your favorite coaster in the Gopher State? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this countdown, I would appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you considered subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster and amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.